From aisle 3 of the Vernon Hills Party City in Vernon Hills, welcome to the 50th episode of So There, a show that is so there, with Gary Doyle and Tom Karamitis, or Tom Karamitis and Gary Doyle. It's So There, so there.
Welcome to episode 50 of So There. I'm Tom Karamitis.
Yes, I'm Gary Doyle, and our intro for this very special episode is done by the legendary Pete Stacker, legendary voiceover, voice of Budweiser, Real Men of Genius. Voice of more commercials than anybody can count. SNL promos, a true legend, Pete Stacker, and a special edition of music by the great Chris Plansker. Chris Plansker, composer extraordinaire, or as he calls himself, our corporate court composer, Chris Plansker.
Chris, who reimagined the So There love theme for this very special 50th episode. The Big 5-0, as we like to call it.
It's the Big 5-0.
There'll be many mentions today of the Big 5-0 because it is a very significant milestone for So There. Judging by the number of arguments Gary and I had over the years with the pod, we didn't think we'd make it much past episode 5, much less 5-0.
What's greater, Tom, the number of episodes we've done or our number of listeners?
Well, in this case, they both start with a 5, but the number of listeners doesn't have the 0 after it, is my guess.
Okay, I see what you did there. All right, so what's on your mind today?
Well, I would like to thank our hosts today, Gary and I, for this very special episode. Are sequestered in the back aisle 3 of the Party City in Vernon Hills, Illinois. We just thought this was a party. This is a very significant event, and the only place that would allow us that had kind of a party atmosphere was the Vernon Hills Party City, aisle 3.
Aisle 3 were toward the back of the wig section. I'm trying on a Prince Valiant wig as we speak. But I can't do that with too much of the merchandise because the manager might eject us.
We're also in the helium/mylar section of the Party City. Lot of party balloons.
Yeah, there's one in the shape of a rhinoceros.
Ma'am, the party masks are in over aisle 4. That's the next one over. Yes, thanks. Anyway, I'm sorry about that. We're trying to help out as best we can.
Do any of these people know this is our 50th podcast, Tom? They don't seem very festive. They don't seem like they're partying, which is ironic because they're in Party City.
Well, my guess is there's going to be so much buzz in Vernon Hills in the next 45 minutes or so that it'll be SRO, as they say, standing room only. Very soon.
That's because it's the Big 5-0.
It's the Big 5-0.
So, Tom, I was recently a judge on a prestigious award show called the AICP Award. You might know what this stands for. I'm not even sure what it stands for. The American is the
Association of Independent Commercial Producers.
Association of Independent Commercial Producers. I should know what it stands for because I was a judge in it. But I was a judge in the AICPs, and I have a few observations from this. So my category was best campaign, best commercial broadcast campaign, and most of the ads weren't very good. I didn't know why they entered them in the award show. They weren't very good. I was astounded. Reminded again how the best campaigns were like Allstate and Geico and Progressive, all insurance ads, and I just wondered, when did insurance ads become so great? It's just so odd. Growing up, it was just a tired, terrible category, but now it's just become this incredible category. But there were some self-indulgent 3-minute films, which are the worst when you're judging an award show. To have to sit through a 3-minute film. And there were two directors named Barron. One named Fabian Barron, and it even said at the beginning of his 3-minute film, it said a Fabian Barron production. and then there was another director named Baron von Rothschild. Those are some observations from my AICP judging.
My guess is Baron von Rothschild was not born in, say, Dublin, Ohio. It's just a guess.
Yeah. But, or Fabian Barron.
Yeah. Or Nigel. That's another name you never hear in this country. Well,
Exactly.
do you think the thing with, you think insurance has just become, they've become like some of the biggest spenders on network television, and they're all over the place.
Yeah, Progressive is, all over the place. You're right. Yeah, huge spenders. And, I think their goal is mostly to have you remember their name, but yeah, huge spenders, but very good work. I know you're not a huge fan of the new Allstate work, but I think it's pretty good.
Well, I was going to ask you about that. Tell me what you what you like about the Allstate campaign.
Well, it's the mayhem work.
Okay.
Yeah, that Burnett lost the account, and then whoever's doing it for them. I don't know if it's Allstate's in-house agency or some other agency, but they've picked up mayhem again.
Yeah,
and I think they do.
72 and Sunny, I thought.
70, yeah, and I think they do it well. I think they do it well. They do mayhem well. So yeah. Anyway.
I don't understand the other stuff Allstate's doing. The little goldfish bowl on the top of the car balancing, or the woman who's backing her car into a parallel parking space for 30 seconds. I don't. There's attitude in those spots that I don't quite really. I know. I sense they're just not speaking to me. That's all. But I don't really understand what it is they're trying to tell me.
I envision the pitch for those. When I watch ads, I envision the pitch for the ads. And I think what the agency said to Allstate was, we live in an age of storytelling. It's all about storytelling. And so for Allstate, we want to tell stories. We want to tell stories of safe drivers who drive around with fish bowls in the top of their cars. And because it's all about storytelling.
Well, Gary, it is the Big 5-0.
It's the Big 5-0.
So I wanted to bring on a little installment of what I like to call You're Welcome. And I wanted to kind of give you something that I think you will appreciate, and I'm sure you'll have an opinion on, because it involves one of your favorite spokespersons, and that is Lily from AT&T. I have an idea for AT&T.
I love Lily.
I know you do. I know you love Lily. This idea doesn't really. It's more of a kind of a promotional thing. I don't know if it really involves Lily, but knowing your devotion to her, I'm sure you'll come up with a way to kind of get her involved in the idea. Here's my idea. You ready? You focused?
Yeah.
I think AT&T should sponsor every golf tournament on the PGA Tour, but they should only sponsor the final tee, the 18th tee. Get it? The 18th tee, sponsored by AT&T. Think about that for a second.
I mean, they could also do the first tee. Or
No.
the tee or the 12th.
No. AT&T, 18th tee. They sound exactly the same.
Okay.
All right? Following me there?
Wow, Tom. No wonder you call your segment You're Welcome.
Well, I thought I was saving that for, since it is the Big 5-0.
It's the Big 5-0.
Don't you think that's good? Don't you think somebody at AT&T, a golfer at AT&T, must have already thought of that?
I don't know. Maybe not. You know, it's sometimes the best ideas are the most obvious ones, Tom.
All right.
And I have to say that is quite obvious.
But it's sticky. Don't you think it's sticky? Kind of gets in you, doesn't it?
Whatever you say.
So there.
I wanted to talk about something that I've noticed lately that I'm sure you have too, Tom. I'm sure many people have, and that is the phenomenon of terrible songs that get stuck in your head and take up space in your head for absolutely no reason. They just worm their way in there for no reason. They're not even new songs, maybe not even songs you've heard recently on, the radio or Spotify or whatever. But they just, and they're never good songs that lodge themselves in your head. They're almost always terrible ones. And then they inexplicably enter and then lodge themselves there for a few days. Like, I'll give you an example. What a song that's been going through my head the last few days is Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now by Starship. I don't like Starship. I don't like this song, but it has gotten inside my head. Another is just recently is the Doors song "People Are Strange."
People are strange when you're a stranger. Faces look ugly when you're alone. Women seem wicked when you're unwanted. Streets are uneven when you're down.
That's a good
People
song.
are strange when you're a stranger. It's not a good song. It's an odd song and a weird song. And
You don't think it's a cry for help? Women seem wicked when you're unwanted.
Oh, for sure, definitely. But I wouldn't call it a good song. And then the last song that's been lodged in my head lately is "Ride Like the Wind" by Christopher Cross.
So I ride like the wind, ride like the
I'm with you there. That's a terrible song.
With the mouth trumpet.
Christopher Cross had one middling hit with Sailing. Remember?
Yes.
Wasn't his big hit, and then he followed it up with a bunch of really bad attempts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Innocuous. Innocuous.
The one that gets in my head a lot is the one that was repurposed for Ozempic. Ozempic. That to me, I kind of overheard the conversation with the client that was probably like, "We want a catchy song, but we can only spend $10,000."
Ozempic. Are you sure it's Ozempic?
Yeah.
Are you sure it's not Ochantix?
Talking about the late and great Ray Liotta.
Let's pour one out for Ray Liotta, the world's slowest talker in a commercial for Chantix. I always had a hard time quitting smoking. That's why I tried Chantix. Now, I will say before we close out the segment is one good song, I think outstanding song that has been going through my head lately is the Hollies. Remember The Air That I Breathe?
Oh, yeah.
All I need is the
Great
air
song.
that I... Great song. And what goes through my head as I listen to this, odd things go through my head when I listen to music and watch commercials, but there's a symphonic part in the middle there, and I'm listening to that going, that was a real symphony orchestra. There were no synthesizers. They brought in a symphony orchestra. Probably the London Philharmonic, because they were British, for that,
Great song. Hollies, yeah. Who was in the Hollies? There was somebody who... was it somebody from...
Graham Nash.
Graham Nash. I thought it was somebody from Crosby, Stills and Nash, yeah.
Yeah, Graham Nash.
Great song. Great song.
So there.
Quick little palate cleanser for you. One of my favorite segments lately has been the noun as verb phenomenon we're seeing in this business, and I came across another one. I just bought a Roomba yesterday, by the way, and Roomba is now using the slogan, "So you can human."
No.
I swear to you. So you can human.
No.
I didn't make this up. I wrote it down as soon as I saw it.
That is nonsensical on its face.
Can I ask you a question, though? Where did the expression side hustle come from that now I'm hearing all over the place? An extra job or an extra way of making money has become a side hustle. I'm seeing it in commercials. It's all over the place. I'd never heard this expression. Had you?
Oh, yeah, that's been around for a while. I don't know where it came from, but I'm irritated by it, and I don't like it, and I don't approve of it. And I'll tell you why, because why does it have to be a hustle? Why does it have to be a side hustle? Why can't you just have a side job? Why can't you make a little extra money? Right?
Yeah,
why
because
does everything
the
have to be a hustle in our
Right.
society? It's a side hustle. It's not just a moonlighting job or whatever, part-time. No, it's a side hustle. So I don't approve, and I don't like that phrase.
I don't either, because I think the word hustle elicits the feeling that it's somehow an illicit activity. I'm stealing from my employer on the side. It's a side hustle.
Right, and it plays into our just nonstop work culture in the U.S. Like all we do is work. We don't take vacations. We're proud of how hard we work. We boast about, oh my gosh, I'm so busy. Oh my gosh, I worked 60, 70 hours last week. Oh my gosh, I'm so busy. It just plays into that. It's like, it's a side hustle. Side hustle. It's not a little extra money, a little whatever. Side hustle.
It's kind of taken over the vernacular, just like no worries has taken over the vernacular, despite all of my attempts to stop it. I was one lonely voice in the woods saying, please don't say no worries.
When people say no worries to you, Tom, do you go, I wasn't worried, but thank you, I wasn't worried about this thing that I just said that you're saying no worries to?
Yeah, it became somehow an odd replacement for you're welcome. I had the checkout person at the grocery store when I thanked her. Thank you, no worries. Well, yeah, I didn't think there was a worry involved, but glad you feel that way.
Thank you for saying there's no worries, because I was kind of worried.
No worries.
I was kind of worried about you handing me that receipt at the grocery store for my purchase.
Exactly.
Thank you.
I know it was a lot of effort for you to tear off that receipt from the auto receipt machine and hand it to me. So I want to acknowledge the effort that it took. I'm sure it was a supreme effort. And I'm glad you're not worried about that anymore.
So you're not going to be changing your stinger from you're welcome to no worries anytime soon?
Maybe I will.
Since it's another way of saying you're welcome?
Maybe I'll do that just for the big 5-0.
It's the Big 5-0.
I would say, speaking of bad taglines, like the one I gave you from Roomba, Audi is now got one that says their new tagline is "Future is an attitude."
Well, that's undeniable.
What do you think of that one?
I'm joking. It's not undeniable. It's less inane than what was Roomba? This is how we human.
Yeah.
I got that a little wrong, didn't I?
No. So Roomba, so you can human.
So you can human. No, it's slightly less inane, but I don't think of the future as having attitude. I think of the future as just progress and things that we can't envision, and perhaps it will be good, perhaps it will be bad, but I don't think of the future as having an attitude.
Well, the line was "Future is an attitude," not has. Future is an attitude, which didn't make any sense to me.
It's a thin line between is and has, isn't it, though?
I actually think has makes a little more sense than is.
Huh.
Future is something that hasn't occurred yet. Why is it?
No, if you say the future is attitude, that it is occurring.
I don't understand. Explain. Future is an attitude.
The future is an attitude. It means that it is happening right now. It is an attitude. Even though the future hasn't happened yet. Which renders the line inane. Also, on that level. Do you know what I mean?
That's where I get
confused. The future is an attitude. We won't know that it's an attitude until it's here.
Right.
Interesting. Tom, you kind of stole my thunder about inane taglines. I was going to put this under a category of something where if I were the king of the world and I could decide whatever I wanted to decide, it's something we call
I decree.
I was going to decree, if I was the king, similar to what you're saying, Tom, that advertisers stop this irritating habit of altering the grammar of words. So I've talked about family greatly as a tagline, I think, for Kraft macaroni and cheese, where family's been turned into a verb. It's irritating. But I saw on a billboard the other day this gem for RCN. It's an internet company. I don't know if you've heard of them, RCN.
Yeah.
Their tagline is, "We are astound."
Wait. We are astound?
We are astound. Not astounding. We are astounding, like a quarterback is astounding, right, or a home run. No, we are astound.
I'm trying to think.
That's their tagline for RCN. It's the improper. It's not. It's It's using astound as a noun. We are this. We are astound versus the verb that it is.
Plus the fact that the word astound is hardly ever used without the ing at the end, It's, well, I guess you could say, I think you should astound me, right? As a verb.
Of course.
We are astound.
We are astound. And ironically, and this isn't quite as egregious, but in Xfinity, the kind of competitor to them, internet company, cable provider, their tagline is "The future of awesome." The future of awesome.
I at least get that one, though. I mean, what, are you suggesting it should be "The future is awesome"?
Yeah. I don't know. It's also a tagline that begs for ridicule. Like if you actually are an Xfinity customer,
Well,
it's not so awesome. It's a little bit of overpromise, I guess, is what I'm saying.
do you not have an Xfinity?
I actually have AT&T Uverse.
Okay. Xfinity has much faster.
18th T.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, you're going to start talking about how fast Xfinity is?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I have been very happy with Xfinity. I would say for me it has kind of redefined awesome for me. So in some ways I look forward to it being the future of awesome.
Fine, Tom. Well, I would like to decree once again that advertisers shall not alter the grammar of words. So there on the Big 5-0.
I'd like to stay on the whole marketing thing as we celebrate the Big 5-0.
It's the Big 5-0.
Have you noticed that Weight Watchers has become WW? Much in the way years ago Kentucky Fried Chicken became KFC. I understood that rationale because they wanted to get rid of the word fried in people's association. But Weight Watchers has taken basically 3 syllables and turned it into 6. WW. Will anyone actually say WW? Right? Isn't the idea to go to something shorter when you do that? Kentucky Fried Chicken goes to KFC. I got it. But who's going to say, I'm not going to Weight Watchers, I'm going to WW?
That is a real tongue twister. You're right. Wow.
And also,
I don't think they never banked on anybody actually saying it out loud. I think what happened is the designer showed them some logos and the symmetry of the 2 W's, and they're like, look how cool and futuristic this is. The future of astound. And they all high-fived each other. And then said, great, we're WW, but nobody actually said it out loud.
Yeah, I would agree. I think probably what happened was they decided we want to become more associated with lifestyle and health and stuff, and not kind of dwelling on the fact that it's for people who need to lose weight, right? But still, to your point, are they expecting? I sense from their commercials they don't even mention Weight Watchers anymore. So they don't want the Weight Watchers name to be out there anymore. So by default, WW. I mean, much to the same reason. I have you noticed that Angie's List, which is that popular home improvement site you go to when you need recommendations on plumbers, their whole campaign now is they want to move to just Angie. Right, from Angie's List to Angie, which I think to me is an awful idea, right? I might say, let's check Angie's List to find a new plumber, but am I really going to say, hey, honey, let's ask Angie?
Tom, I think the gambit here is that marketers realize, I think rightfully so, that people either don't like to read, struggle to read, or can't read at all. So the less words, like you turn Weight Watchers into WW, you turn Angie's List into Angie, you turn Kentucky Fried Chicken into KFC, you turn Gatorade into G, right? They have G on there. The less you give people to actually read, I think I can see the logic. So there.
Excellent analysis on the Big 5-0.
It's the Big 5-0.
Tom, a lot of people are riding the train back downtown now because the offices are open or starting to open. And so I thought I would revisit, as a service to our train riding listeners, train ride gambits to avoid paying for a ticket, to avoid paying for a ride. And I just want to say in advance, I know you think, some of our listeners probably think this is lawless. I think Metra in general is such a kind of a hopeless, backward organization that I don't have any, I don't have it on my conscience that I'm trying to get a free ride off of them. But I would like to outline a few gambits to avoid paying for a ride on a Metro train. It's something that I call lightning round.
Lightning round.
Okay, very quickly, the first one I call the head down maneuver. So, conductor comes by, and you keep your head down, and you pretend like you're working on your laptop. You're just tapping away furiously, working on something really important script or something. Head down maneuver. They just kind of think you're working and don't bother you. That's gambit number one. Gambit number two, frantically searching for the ticket maneuver. So the conductor comes by, and they wait for your ticket, and you kind of search all through your bag, even though you have one in your pocket. You're like, oh, and you do this big pantomime, but I can't find it. Oh my gosh, I don't know where. And you just keep on searching and searching, and finally they move on. The third maneuver is I call it the hanging Chad maneuver. So remember the ballots in Florida with the hanging Chad that they couldn't tell if it was punched or not. So this all pertains to 10 ride tickets. Tom Karamitis lives in the future. He uses their app, but sometimes they don't quite punch the ticket all the way, and so what you do is you replace the punched hole with the Chad, and that fools them sometimes. So a few train ride gambits, refusing to pay for tickets gambits, although I will not resort to the hiding in the restroom maneuver, which is also a maneuver, or the even more desperate maneuver of hiding on the top shelf of the upper level, like actually climbing onto the top shelf and hiding where they store the bags. I'm going to say my bride, Lisa, actually did that when she was in high school.
Why would she hide on the shelf as opposed to on the upper level lying on the floor? Because there is that shelf for your feet. You could be underneath that.
I don't know, perhaps the floor is a little dirtier. Tom, why do you think the people pull the Shroud of Turin maneuver on the upper shelf? Because it's clean, and it's a tidy, clean place to place their coat.
I will say, and the only one of those maneuvers I have actually also done back in the days when I had a paper ticket was, in fact, repairing the hanging Chad. You know, if they had a dull blade on their little hole puncher and most of the thing they punched out was still intact, you could kind of still... it became like a bit of an arts and crafts project. You know, you smoothed it over with your nail, you know.
It's true. It's true. You press it with both sides, press it together like Lee press-on nails, and you just make it look perfect.
But here's my question for you. My guess is you ride, when you go in the morning, you ride the same train most mornings that you do go in. So aren't you getting the same conductor, and are you attempting these gambits every single time you go in, or is it just occasionally?
Oh, no, of course not. No, occasionally. No, not every time. And especially now, I've got so many tickets that I've not used from when we were home for the pandemic for 2 years, and so I've got a stockpile of tickets I haven't used and that are expired, by the way. I hope Metro doesn't notice that. They're actually expired about 2 years ago. But no, I don't need to resort to that because I've got a healthy stockpile of tickets.
What percentage of the time would you say your gambit is successful?
I'd say a good, 10, 15% of the time.
Do you feel anxiety when you're about to attempt the gambit? Or do you ever feel a little bit like, you don't know how the conductor's going to react? He could have you escorted from the train for non-payment if he wanted to.
Yes, I'd say in order of anxiety, the least anxiety I feel is the head down maneuver because it's legit. It looks like I'm working and I'm just clueless about him standing there. The second one is the hanging Chad maneuver because he could look at it and go, come on, right? I know what you're doing here. And then the third one is where you're frantically going through your bag because that requires a lot of acting and a lot of salesmanship to sell that.
How do you decide which gambit to attempt? Is it basically your mood that day or how much energy you've got or?
Yeah. I mean, I have to have a hanging Chad ticket to pull that one off. That gambit. But the other two, it just depends. The easiest is the head down maneuver. Right.
Oh, yeah. Well, yes, and then you're hoping that the conductor is so overwhelmed with the sheer volume of people that you just kind of fade into the background with all the other head-down people. But is Gary Doyle aware? Is Gary Doyle aware, and I know you have disdain for the app on the phone, but are you aware that on the app there is a fare that is not available at the ticket booth? You can only get it on the app. You're rolling your eyes, I know. But it's called the Day Pass, all right? And it's $10 a day, which comes out a lot cheaper than what you're paying on your 10-ride pass, which I believe is about $7.50 per ride per day. So you're going from $15 a day on your 10-ride to $10 on your Day Pass.
I don't disdain that as much as I'm always reminded of that Simon and Garfunkel lyric. It's laughter and loving I disdain. Reminds me of Tom Karamitis for some reason. Isn't that it? It's laughter and loving I disdain.
Yes, it is. But I also think
I am a rock.
Yes, you are an island. I also think you're more interested in cheating Metra than saving money. I think there's a little bit more of. I think your motivation is a little bit more vindictive and vengeful than just trying to save a buck here and there. I think that.
Perhaps, but whatever my motivations, I hope that you, the listener, have learned a little something in this segment on the Big 5-0.
It's the Big 5-0.
Have you ever noticed, whenever they show doctors in commercials, right? The doctor always has the stethoscope. It is so tired to me that you have to have a stethoscope around a doctor's neck to know it's a doctor. Do they have to be ready to listen to a heart at any given moment in the day? Is that why they have to be armed with the stethoscope? I understood it in the 1960s, but I'm still I'm seeing commercials for Northwestern Hospital and all these other hospitals, and they have the heroic doctor pose, they all look like they're a bunch of superheroes, and there's always a doctor with a stethoscope. It's a time, to me, I think we should retire the stethoscope.
Even if he's a podiatrist?
Exactly, or a dermatologist. I think the stethoscope pose needs to go the way of the fax number on your business card. And frankly, I think your business card needs to go away. But first things first, the stethoscope.
Tom, advertisers need shorthand to tell you who people are. I remember I had a boss at Burnett once who would get enraged whenever he heard a dad call his son in a commercial, because no dad ever calls himself son. Son, I'm really enjoying this fishing outing we're having right now. No dad in the history of dads has ever said, son.
Son, you feel like some cornflakes this morning?
Or a corn dog?
Have you noticed, how do you feel about when you watch a big
You're starting to sound like Larry King. Remember Larry King's old newspaper column for USA Today? It was just a string of It was just a string of, you know.
Unrelated thoughts.
Yes.
That's so there.
Why do people walk up escalators and stand on down escalators? I like peanuts on ice cream. Albany's a lovely city for a weekend. You're like the new Larry King.
Fine, I won't do my next one then. It doesn't relate to anything, but I thought it was interesting. All right.
No,
I'll do it.
remember when we envisioned this 50th podcast, or what we're calling it, the Big 50?
It's the Big 50.
How we we are thinking it might be like the Jerry Lewis telethon, where we just went on and on, just trying to fill up space for as long as possible.
Yeah, we had some grandiose plans to start with, and now we're in aisle 3 of the Party City in Vernon Hills. So, how the mighty have fallen.
I was just saying the crowds are getting a little bit thinner now as we approach lunchtime. Perhaps the Party City customers are heading to
Starbucks.
Starbucks and Panera for their lunch. But they'll come back and party after lunch, maybe.
They always do.
'Cause it is called Party City.
Has Gary Doyle noticed that whenever there's a big sporting event, it could be the Super Bowl, it could be the Masters or whatever, the networks have fallen in love with these overblown, pompous visual essays at the beginning of the broadcast, where they get all artsy and they write this kind of pseudo-inspirational copy. Could these things be more self-important? Does anybody really even care about these things or remember them? I just mutter to myself, get over yourselves. Let's just show me the damn event. But I mean, you know what I'm talking about? They do it for everything now, and they'll get Jim Nance or somebody to read some intern wrote this kind of copy that they thought was genius, and it's just enough.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like why the advertising industry likes to do 60-second anthem spots, Tom. It gives you a chance to write a lot of copy and just wax lyrical on and on and on about something. There was a good one, though, I will say. You probably didn't watch it. I don't think you're a big college basketball fan. But before the final, the NCAA tournament final, which Duke was in, I think Duke was in, Mike Krzyzewski retired, and they did one of those for Mike Krzyzewski. But what they did was kind of clever. He sat in the middle of a center court of an arena. I think it was Duke's arena. Nobody's there. It was dark. And they wheeled out this huge video screen. And they played the film to him, apparently for the first time, sitting there watching it. And so a lot of it was a tribute from players and other coaches and NBA players and so forth. And it seemed like he'd been seeing it for the first time. And so it was the film that was a tribute, but also his reaction to it, which was good, I thought.
Yeah, that to me, I like that idea, because that's a tribute, and there's a reason for it. That it's not just some cliched film that starts with kind of misty morning dew over the green, somebody putting a new hole in the green, lovingly raking a sand trap, a slow motion shot of Tiger Woods staring into the distance, and Jim Nance, doing his best Robert Louis Stevenson,
Tom, would you hate these tributes as much if someone one day did a tribute like that for So There? If someone put together a 4-minute film about So There, it could show slow motion shots of us struggling to set up the equipment before it starts. Gary Doyle never remembering how this all works, even though it's our 50th episode.
Where are my damn headphones?
It could be all that kind of thing set to a soaring piece of music. Us squabbling in the trying to figure out what the episode will be, squabbling about things, and lots of bitter recriminations and arguments. That would make an excellent tribute film.
That'll be our final episode, which I guess is going to be episode 51.
We call that mouth trumpet.
And a special one at that, on the Big 5-0.
It's the Big 5-0.
All right, I'm looking through my... Oh, I have one... another thing for you.
Oh, my God. Tom, the customers of Party City in Vernon Hills are starting to crowd around us to ask us why we're still here.
Well, they'll enjoy this. Do you remember when you were going on and on about how you hated the term prevent defense? Right? Where did that come from? Yeah,
instead of prevent, everybody, like you say in every other context of that word. Yeah.
Yes.
Prevent.
All right. Well, let me ask you this: when you go to the grocery store, what section do you go to if you need some fresh broccoli?
Produce.
Ding, ding, ding.
That's not quite the same.
Why? Produce. Why? I gotta go to the produce section. Why is it not the same thing?
You might say that if you're from Alabama. I gotta go to the produce section.
Why is it not the same thing? I think it's exactly the same thing. You just don't like when I have an idea, so you dismiss it.
No, I think you may be onto something there. Produce. I would invite our listeners who'd like to write into us. You know who you are.
Both of you.
It's so there. Yeah. No, there's several. It's so there at yahoo.com. Our email address. Yahoo being the finest of all email platforms. So if you would like to write us at so there at yahoo.com and let us know why it's called the produce section instead of the produce section, let us know. We also welcome your thoughts on this episode of the Big 5-0.
It's the Big 5-0.
Kind of reminds me, it just hit me, Hawaii 5-0.
Yeah.
Book 'em Dano.
That song, I actually heard that played on the 60s channel on Sirius XM. It was, I think the Ventures or somebody did that. The same group that did the thing with the drum solo, what the hell was that song called? Yes. Yeah.
That's, what is that called? Wipeout.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the only word they go.
Yeah.
Wipeout.
Yeah, at the beginning. Do you have flag people in your neighborhood? People who have this elaborate ritual and an enormous collection of flags that they fly different days. You know, they have the American flag. They'll fly on Memorial Day. They'll have they're the college alma maters. They'll have the Cubs W flag. And this kind of.
I let me just say I have a Cubs W flag, and I only fly it when they win. Okay, it enrages me when people have a W flag and they leave it flying all year long. No, that's not how it's supposed to work. You fly the W flag when you win. So that's enraging to me. But yeah, we have a few flag people. Lake Bluff is more of a sign community. We have a lot of yard signs than flag, but there are some flag people.
Just I envision them. We have a couple of them in our neighborhood, and they just seem to be kind of overly regimented about it, and not to mention the fact that it seems like they have an endless supply of them. They have I guess two of the people in this family went to schools in the Big Ten, but different schools. And they have a flag that is like a flag with like a diagonal going from the lower left to the top right. And in the two quadrants, they have like the different logos for the like whatever, like Indiana and Michigan, you know. So they have all of these custom flags that they have. You know, I'm wondering, you know, do they have like an elaborate, you know, flag rotation schedule they follow? I don't have a flag mount on my house. Do you have one of those things screwed into your house there?
Yes.
All right. I don't know. I never understood the whole flag thing. You're not supposed to fly a flag at night, right?
Oh, I didn't know that.
The American flag, I think they have to take down, is only supposed to be flown during daylight hours, I thought.
Yeah, I was wondering if the flag people in your town actually fly the American flag, or do they just fly their school flags and their, you know, don't step on sneck flags. We see some of those in Lake Bluff. You ever seen those? Don't step on sneck?
No.
Okay, so this is like a right-wing trope. This is like a Trumper trope. It's another way of saying don't tread on me. But for some reason, and this is a little bit of an inside joke, like let's go Brandon, I guess. But don't step on sneck is kind of a. So we have a couple of those flying around Lake Bluff.
And I'm sorry, what is sneck?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know. It's coded. It's coded, Tom. You need to be in that tribe to understand. I tried to have a 40 foot. Sorry, thought made me laugh. I tried to have a 40-foot high flagpole with the Doyle family crest flying from it, embedded in my front lawn, but that was rejected by the village.
Did you tell them you were going to fly it and as a tribute for the Big 5-0?
It's the Big 5-0.
I think the flag thing is an extension of the people who like to put those signs in front, you know, welcome, you know, harvest or whatever. You know, I think there's some people feel a greater need to broadcast a message to whoever happens to go by, whether it's a message of goodwill or an acknowledgement of a holiday of some kind. You know, whether it's one of those signs, you know, those political endorsement things that you stick in your lawn or whatever.
Hate has no home here.
Yes, exactly. I prefer to not advertise in any way out of fear of pissing somebody off.
Not me. Not me. My sign would say, hate has no home here, except for a few selective individuals. Then it has a home.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm kind of running down vapors at this point as far as ideas.
I don't know why you've only been filibustering for, you know, the bill is not going to pass, Tom. Fear not.
Let me get up.
You have defeated the bill.
Why don't I just start reading from Green Eggs and Ham?
Well, Tom, this has been I hope for our listeners, an epic episode of the Big 5-0.
It's the Big 5-0.
For So There, we'd like to thank again the legendary Pete Stacker for providing our special VO intro, the equally legendary Chris Plansker, musician extraordinaire, for his musical composition at the beginning and the end. Stick around till the end of the podcast for Chris's wrap-up piece, as well as our extremely talented engineer John Binder and our art director, designer, South Carolinian Jim Furr.
Yes, we are very appreciative for all the contributions that these people have made, considering our operating budget is now essentially zero. So they did it out of the goodness of their hearts, and we appreciate it. So thank you all.
Steve, remember when Steve Martin was a huge comedian and he did comedy albums, like in arenas? He had a joke at the end of one of his bits where he's in an arena, he goes, "I'd like to thank each and every one of you for coming. Thank you, 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 thank you." I would say I'd like to thank each and every one of our listeners, but that would not take long. That would be about 7 thank yous. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
And the 7 of you know who you are, and we appreciate you. That's another thing, by the way. Have you noticed people now are appreciating people, right? As opposed to, I appreciate that. Thank you. I get a lot more, I appreciate you, which I think is a nice sentiment. That's one of the new verbal tics that I actually do like, as opposed to some of the other ones.
I agree.
Does Gary Doyle...
I like that too.
Does Gary Doyle, when he has a close friend, does Gary Doyle say, "I love you"? Or does Gary Doyle say, "Love ya"? Is "I love you" a little too close to the...
No. I say "I love you." I don't say "I love ya." I don't say "I love you, man." That's another cop-out. Man, I love you, man. No. Just say "I love you."
So if we recorded our final podcast, episode 311, on my deathbed, right? We bring a little mobile recording thing. And the recording's finished. I powered through it as best I could. As Gary Doyle turns to leave Tom's sick room, does Gary Doyle say, "Love you, man"? Or does Gary Doyle say, "I love you, Tom"?
The latter. Ya is always insincere. How are ya? Love ya. No. Love you. I love you. Not even love you. Love you is not the same. Right?
Yeah.
Not love you or love ya or I love you, man. I love you.
And I think you need to look deeply in that person's eyes as you say it. And I think it makes it sincere. I love you. I love you.
And then the person says, "Sorry, sir, this is an Arby's." Oh, okay. Shall we wrap up the telethon?
Yes, we're folding up our bridge table right now.
Oh yeah, let's pick up some Mylar streamers on our way out, and a big happy birthday sign that we can stretch across the room, because it will be somebody's birthday someday, right? Our birthday's on the same day. Do our listeners know that?
1 year apart, same day.
Yeah, so we get pick up a happy birthday sign, some hats, maybe a Prince Valiant wig on the way out of the Party City in Vernon Hills.
And until next time, thanking you for joining us on this very, very, very special celebration of the Big 5-0.
It's the Big 5-0.
For Gary Doyle, this is Tom Carmidas saying, So there.